Hello everyone, this is going to be my low-level Bravely Default to Bernard strat where I use Black Mage as my main source of damage. This one's going to be a little bit trickier than the other ones that I've already recorded because those ones are like very quick and easy. But it's still consistent. Just because it's a little bit trickier doesn't mean it's not consistent. The only, I guess, inconsistency that lies within the strat itself is just how long sleep is going to last, which is the tricky part for how long it's going to take for me to get the setup. But other than that, the fight is very consistent. It's mostly just putting Bernard to sleep, debuffing his fire resistance, and then having Adele sweep from there. So with that out of the way, we got Thunder Talisman on both Seth and Gloria. All I need is for them to go fast. Flame Talisman and Headband. All I really need is for the aim, and a little bit of extra damage is nice, but it's mostly for the aim. And then here, Ice Talisman, Mystic Hood, Mithril Staff, just for the highest magic attack I can get on Adele. I have Spearhead, and as you noticed, I had a spear on her. That's going to be really important to take out the enemies next to Bernard at the start of the fight. Because then that leaves only Bernard to deal with, which is then when I'm going to put him to sleep and set up. And then obviously Lunar Powered, MP Saver. We don't need Better Than Ever. Nobody's going to get healed. I just still have Better Than Ever on. But Bare Knuckle Brawler is necessary here for Elvis, just to increase that aim. MP Saver for the close your eyes, because Elvis is going to also fish for sleep. Everybody has Bard in some capacity, including even Adele, just to make sure that we can always get the sleep on Bernard. Unless he completely braves out, Bernard really can only attack one person, and so even if he ends up attacking somebody and getting a kill, he still has to worry about everybody else being able to have the potential to sleep him. Raw Power isn't necessary, but it is a decent damage buff, but it's not necessary. And then I don't need Spearhead on him either. The only one that needs Spearhead is Adele. Lunar Powered, MP Regen's nice. MP Saver is necessary here, Better Than Ever is not necessary. So yeah, that is the setup, so let's get into the fight itself. And obviously it's nighttime with the Lunar Powered. Okay, so we unequip the spear from Adele, brave twice because that's all I need to do, and then I'm going to Thundaka everybody, and I'm going to do that 3 times, and it's going to kill both of the enemies that are alongside Bernard, and it's going to give a little bit of chip to Bernard. And then I'm going to put him to sleep. He has a pretty low sleep resistance, so it is pretty easy to get him to sleep. And then from here, like I said, we're really just going to try and get our BP up, and I'm going to watch for him, waking up. I also want to make sure that I can get Adele's BP up, of course. That's why I have Sub-Vanguard on Seth and Gloria, so I can use Gift of Courage. Because I want to make this fight as quick as possible, especially since I want to get Adele up to 3 BP. Okay, so I'm going to Close Those Tired Eyes. Again, if it fails, it fails. He has a pretty low sleep resistance, as you can see. So it's not the end of the world if I don't end up connecting. Okay, I just want to make sure that I get... No, yeah, I'm going to default, because yeah, Adele gets more MP from defaulting anyway as well. Okay, so he woke up. I'm just gonna brave once, just so I can have extra odds of it actually, connecting. Because remember, the sleep is the really important thing here. He needs to stay asleep. Oh, well, that's fine. It's fine. I can recover from that. Actually, Seth will be able to go pretty quickly, so I'm just going to... I should have paid attention. That was my fault, but that's okay. Actually, no, because I'm gonna brave once to do Close Those Tired Eyes. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to just throw my specials out with Seth and Gloria. We'll see if Elvis ends up going before Adele. If not, it's fine. She gets 3 turns with the buff anyway, and I only need 2 of them to attack with.
That ought to make a difference.
Let's keep this up.
Alright, he's still asleep. Perfect.
Anchors away. Time for a sea shanty.
Alright, so it looks like Adele's probably going to go before Elvis, which is fine. I'll just do a single Firaga just for some chips.
Keep it up.
Here I go. Maelstrom of magic assails you.
And then... I don't want to go in the negative, I don't think. Well... No, yeah, I think I'll be fine, actually. So I'm going to do Work Your Magic here 3 times, or 4 times, I mean. Actually, no, I'm going to do it 3 times into a mini ether on Adele. I want to make sure I can get enough Firagas off.
A song? Here goes. Very well. Very well.
He was going to go anyway. Okay, so now that he's asleep, he can't counter me when I use Firebird. So we're going to fish for that fire resistance drop. And then I'm going to do Close Those Tired Eyes to fish for the sleep again. Alright, perfect. So now I can do Shut Up and Dance into a mini ether on Seth. Wait, did I make sure I did? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Into a mini ether on Seth. Into Work Your Magic. And then I'm going to use Firaga. And Bernard's dead. So yeah, that is the strat. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was helpful if you want to do some sort of magic stuff. Because, I mean, obviously I've made it clear that magic is like my favorite thing and I love Black Mage. So if you're like me and you wanted to be able to beat Bernard with magic, that is the most efficient way to do it. So yeah, with that out of the way, I will see you all in the next video. Bye!